Hey guys, we are back with some more LA Kings franchise mode, and in this one, we have the offseason of year number 8, I believe it is, and we just got eliminated in 7 games by the Anaheim Ducks. We previously won against the Arizona Coyotes, I believe, in 7 games as well, so we went to 2 7-game series. We were able to beat Arizona, but not Anaheim, unfortunately. So our offseason starts here, and taking a look at the playoff stats briefly, Keith Ho was phenomenal. He was pretty much the only guy I could consistently rely on in that entire playoffs, really. Then you have Doughty, Turcotte, Byfield, Kaliev. They were all really good as well. Ehlers was okay. But the one who I really expect more out of is David Pastrnak, because as we know, he's making $14.6 million. I expect a lot more out of him than 7 points. And quite frankly, he's been really underwhelming the past 2 seasons during the playoffs. Only 3 points during the playoffs from 2 years ago, and only 7 points this past playoffs. And it's not like he's even phenomenal in the regular season either. This past regular season, he wasn't a point per game. I mean, those are obviously still really good numbers, but, is it worth 14.6? I don't know. We are almost without a doubt going to have to release the likes of Igor Shesterkin this year. And I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, because we do have Charles Flaherty, who's only making 2.4 for the next, technically 1 year, because counting this year, right? But he had a 914 save percentage last year during the regular season, so he's certainly proved himself to be, at least during the regular season, a reliable goaltender. I just don't know how much we'll be able to trust him in the playoffs, but that's a gamble that we're going to have to take, because Igor Shesterkin, I should have gone to the contract screen, as we take a look at how much Shesterkin is asking for, as we see his contract is indeed expiring this year, he's asking for $8 million over 3 years, and we can't really afford that, because take a look who we also have expiring this year. We have Nazarov expiring, and he is asking for, currently anyway, $7 million. And also, Drew Doughty. He is on a 1-year deal. He wants 8.4. We're just not going to be able to pay all that. I think if it comes down to it, we may even have to release Doughty. But I think the player who we're definitely releasing is Shesterkin, just because we have Flaherty. We know he could get the job done in the regular season, and we need to save as much money as possible anywhere we can. So I hate to say it, but once again, Shesterkin, I think, is most likely gone this offseason. We have to sign Nazarov without a doubt. And not to mention Farabee, if we want to keep him, he's going to ask for a lot more than he's currently making. Oh yeah, 6.7. No chance. There's no chance that we're going through this offseason without parting with someone significant. Because I don't want to have to get in this pattern of having to release or trade players that are really useful to the team just because we're close to the cap. And unfortunately, there's no one who I think I could really trade. It's just going to come down to we need to release players like Doughty and Shesterkin in order to sign players like Nazarov and like Farabee if we want to retain him. And Bykov as well. Bykov needs to be signed. Now, he's not going to ask for as much, but he's still asking for $4 million. That's still quite a bit. And the playoffs are complete, and the Stanley Cup champions are the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Calder Cup goes to the Utica Comets. Draft lottery, Detroit wins the draft lottery, followed by Ottawa, Montreal, Columbus, and San Jose in the top 5. Retirements, you have Kane, Malkin, Stahl, Marchand, Taves, Doughty. So Doughty does indeed retire this year, so we won't have to worry about re-signing him and his $8 million or whatever else he was asking for. But nonetheless, really good career for him. Wish we could have given him something more in his final years here, but that's how it goes sometimes, I suppose. Almost 200 goals, almost 1,000 points. Solid career. Marchessault, Kane, Skinner, Ekman-Larsson, Gallagher, Johansson, Atkinson, Coyle, Henrique, Killorn, Granlund, Dzingel. We could go on forever. And a goal you have Bobrovsky, Anderson, Kemper, Reimer, and Ranta. And Drew Doughty is actually now a coach, I believe I saw. So we're definitely going to have to see if he is a good hire. And you know what? I'm pretty sure this is the last year anyway, so we may as well hire him if he's, at least somewhat decent. So we're in the draft now. Like I said, there's not really any trades that I think I could make. Every player that we currently have is someone who I either want to hold on to or is on a 1-year deal. So we don't really have too many options here. So we'll pick at number 27, but I think that's it. We'll just quick sim through the rest of this draft because it really I mean, the draft doesn't matter too much to me anymore because we are, like I said, going into the final season here. I want to sort of wrap this series up. Sure, we'll take Talixon. He's ranked at 20 for the scout rank, so maybe we'll get lucky. Big pick. He is, all right, medium top 6 playmaker, 65 overall. Not that it really matters anymore. Pick 58. There's a 2-bar low elite, so I'll make this pick. And that is, all right. 65 overall defensive defenseman, low elite. Getting some good picks here. Drake Bolig is, all right, we're getting some good picks. I'll keep picking until I get a bad pick. Gord Simmons is a medium 7th. Okay, sim entire draft. All right, let's see here. So we have Nazarov and Bykov to renew for RFAs. I've already gone through all the smaller guys. And then UFAs, we have Farabee, Abramov, and Jennings. I think I'll just release Jennings because he doesn't want to re-sign and he wants 3.3. Yeah, no, thank you. Release you. Abramov, he does not want to re-sign. He wants 3.1 for 2 years. I'll hold off to see how much money we have left after we're done signing the really important guys. Farabee, he does not want to re-sign. He wants 6.6 for 6 years. Pretty unlikely that we're going to sign him, honestly. Then you have Nazarov and Bykov. What does Nazarov want? He wants 7 mil for 3 years. Bykov wants 3 mil for 1 year. And then in goal, you have Shesterkin, who wants 8.1. Yeah, I think we might just have to leave it to Mr. Flaherty this year. So we'll sign Nazarov. We'll sign Bykov as well. Nazarov, I will start with 6.6, I think, for 3 years. Bykov, what if I take you up to 2? You're asking for 4.4 then. All right, I'll just leave you at 2.85. So out of those players, we got basically everybody signed, and we are left with 8.3 million. We still have these 2 RFAs who I've tendered already, and then we have Farabee and Abramov. And then, of course, Shesterkin. Like I said, I think Shesterkin has got to hit free agency this year, unfortunately. He's done a lot for us, but unfortunately, we are not going to be able to afford him this year, it doesn't look like. And then defensively, what do we have? We have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yikes. Doughty really made our defensive core look better. That is for certain. I think we'll have to use Reisner and probably Whitfield if we want to bring Farabee back. And then we get 1 guy on defense from free agency. Let's see, at forward you have 8, 9, 10, 11 I guess will be Griffith. 12 is Turka. Yeah, we're going to have to save some money somewhere. Yeah, so Shesterkin, you are definitely getting released. Thank you for everything you've done, but like I said, can no longer afford you. I think we'll release Abramov. And for Farabee, I would like to sign him, but if I could get him for, let's say, hold on. How good was he last year? He had 45 points in 82 games played. Defensively, he was pretty good. Okay, if I can get him, I know he doesn't want to re-sign, but if I can get him for 6.5 over, I'm going to say 5 years, I don't think that'll happen, but may as well try anyway. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, I'll try 5 years for... I'm not willing to go too high here. I'll go 6. I'll try 6 points. I may as well go 7. All right, so there you go. Farabee has re-signed. Now, unfortunately, that leaves us with a pretty small amount of cap space, only 2.35 remaining. So I think with that being said, we're going to move straight ahead to free agency. I'll sign a couple of players as like backup guys, but I think that's about it. So look who it is. Drew Doughty, he is in the coaching free agency. Unfortunately, it does not look like he's a very good coach. He's got the C- for overall. He's an AHL associate coach at best. All right, so Pasta, he does not want to re-sign. He only wants 12.9, but since he doesn't want to re-sign, we're going to have to give him more than what he wants. Let's see, what does Ho want? 12.65. I prioritize Keith Ho over Pasternak for sure. What about Ehlers? He wants, 10.7. That's a bit unfortunate. Well, you know what? This is our last season anyway, so we may as well just go for it. We'll keep him. We'll see what happens. So look at the roster now. You have in goal Flaherty and Kakinen, who I signed in free agency. Defensively, you have Clark, Kuhlman, Nazarov, Reisner, who is now an 80, Corcoran, who I signed out of free agency, and Whitfield, who is still a 77, unfortunately. At forward, you have Pasta, Turcotte, Ho, Ehlers, Byfield, Farabee, Bykov, Rissmiller, who's not an 84. Bykov's an 84 as well. Kaliev, Griffith, Turco, and Goddard, and Locker, and Luff. I'm going to send down Luff, and I'm going to call up Bullerice just as a defensive option. So a brief look at the lines. First line, you have Rissmiller with Turcotte and Pasta. Then you have Ehlers, Byfield, and Ho. Third line is Farabee, Bykov, and Kaliev. And the fourth line, Goddard, Griffith, and Lockhart. On defense, you have Kulemin and Clark, Nazarov and Reisner, Whitfield, and Corcoran. In goal, you have Flaherty and Kakkonen. Power play is Rissmiller, Turcotte, Pastrnak, Kulemin, and Clark. And then Ehlers, Byfield, Ho, Kaliev, and Bykov. On the penalty kill, you have Ho, Farabee, Nazarov, and Kulemin. Byfield, Turcotte, Clark, and Whitfield. So I think we'll go the whole season in this video. Hopefully we make the playoffs. If we don't, then that's that. And if we do, then hopefully we win the cup for our final run in this GM mode. And we have finished the season with a record of 48, 24, and 10. So let's take a look at the player stats and the team stats, then we'll get right into the playoffs as we have obviously clinched. Pasta led our team with 79 points. All I'm saying is I hope he lives up to his contract during the playoffs. Turcotte was 74, Ho was 65, so didn't get as many as he did last year, but let's check his defensive numbers. Still had a 320 shots. Yeah, he was phenomenal defensively. 123 takeaways and 57 giveaways. 174 hits. He's usually, for the past 4 seasons actually, he's been within that range of hits. So for the most part, a pretty consistent player when it comes to shots, hits, takeaways, and giveaways. Basically anything. I mean, once again, a slightly lower point total this year than in years past, but still a good performance nonetheless from him. Farabee with 61 points, glad we held on to him. Rissmiller with 58, he certainly had a breakout season, 37 goals this year. Byfield with 54, Ehlers 53, Bykov 50, Kaliev 50, had a lot of scoring this year. Clark with 32, Kulemin 31, Lockhart with 20, Griffith with 19, Turcotte with 18, Whitfield with 18 as well, Reisner with 16, Nazarov 15, Corcoran with 12, Goddard with 7, and Bullerice with 3 in 8 games played. And in goal, you have Flaherty with a 906 and 6 shutouts in 62 games played. Kakkonen had an 896 in 28 games played. So safe to say we're going to stick with Flaherty in the playoffs no matter what. And for the team stats, let's see. We have goals for per game wise. We are in the bottom half of the division with a 3.22. Goals against per game, we are second in the division with a 2.9. Power play, we are at a 21.3. And the penalty kill, we are at an 81%, which is third in the division. We are 7-2-1 in our last 10. So that being said, let's see who we have in the playoffs. And I believe it should be the Coyotes. And yes, indeed, they are 46, 29, and 7. 7-3 in their last 10. So let's see what they're all about. They have Nerman, Keller, and Radvik Singh. They have Pikkinen, Wah, and connecting on their second line. Third line is Hackett, Gotcher, and Sprong. And the fourth line, you have Benson, Anderson, Dolan, and Sim. On defense, you have Gerard and Dumba, Niku, and D'Angelo, and then Clegg and Dursey. So a couple of former LA Kings here. And in goal, you have Gustafson and McElhaney. And scratched are Thompson, Rasmussen, and Sigalet. All right, here we go. Game number 1 in the Staples Center. Let's hope for a win here. First period, that is a goal for Arizona. Konechny on Flaherty. Second period, there we go. All right, Turco with a power play goal. Don't know why he's on the power play. And Keith Ho with the goal on Gustafson. That was at center ice. Wow. So seeing quite a few of those center ice goals lately in GM mode. So let's simulate the third and hope for the best here. Hold the lead, maybe get a couple more goals. That'd be great, you know. Come on, boys. Power play for Arizona. Nice kill. 10 minutes remaining. Yikes. Keller with a goal. And then Pikkinen right after. Yeah, that's just great. And oh, yeah. Anderson Dolan. Come on, Flaherty. Oh, my goodness. So Ho got the goal. And then D'Angelo. And then Rissmiller towards the end of the game. But too little, too late. 41 shots for Arizona. And Flaherty, not the best performance. So hopefully he has a better game too. 3 stars of the game. Ho was actually the first star of the game. 2 goals and 6 hits. And then Konechny and Pikkinen. All right, here we go. Game number 2 time. First period. We have, there you go, a 4-0 lead to start out the game. Rissmiller with 2 goals. Ho with a shorty. And then Kaliev on McElhaney Gustafson was pulled. Second period, we have a goal for Konechny on Flaherty. So they're back within 3. But it's quite the mountain to climb for them. Let's see if they can do it. Ehlers with the goal on McElhaney, and that makes it 5-1. It's pretty unlikely that they will make a comeback now, but I guess we've seen crazier in this game for sure. 2 minutes remaining. 1, we got this. And Lockhart with a last-minute goal just to make sure. And we get the 6-1 victory. 3 stars of the game. Rissmiller, Flaherty, and Ho. Flaherty had a really good game. Hopefully he could keep that up. All right, game number 3 time in Arizona. First period. That's a goal for Ramjit Singh on Flaherty. Don't let it get to you, Flaherty. Second period. Oh, boy. Keller and Gerard on Flaherty. So that's 3 goals on 16 shots. Not what you like to see. Come on, Flaherty. I need a big third period from you. And offense, please step up as well. Power play for your LA Kings. Oh, man. Don't like that. Halfway through the period now. And Keller once again. 4-0 game. And this game looks to be about over. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just skip through the rest of it. Yep, that is a 4-0 shutout. 3 stars of the game, Keller, Ramjit Singh, and Gustafson. So we're down 2-1 now. Let's not go down 3-1, all right? That'd be great. First period. All right, there you go. Rissmiller with the goal. Second period. All right. Rissmiller with another goal on Gustafson. So Rissmiller has been pretty good in these playoffs so far. Goal by Pickenen on Flaherty for Arizona. Shots are 18-16. Score is 2-1. Get a couple more goals, please. LA, that'd be great. Power play for Arizona. Now a 4-on-3, 5-on-3 power play for us. Couldn't convert. Oh, those 5-on-3s annoy me whenever we don't convert. Farabee with the goal for the insurance marker. 5 minutes remaining. 2-1, and that is all she wrote for this game number 4. We are tied at 2 in the series. 3 stars of the game. Rissmiller, Flaherty, and Turcotte. So Flaherty has been all over the place so far this series. He has a bad game, then he has a good game, then he has a bad game, then he has a good game. At least that's the pattern so far. So hopefully that doesn't repeat itself for this game, because that means he's due for a bad game. Once again, hopefully he can break out of that and just become a more consistent, reliable goaltender. Someone we know who we can go to in the future for. I mean, again, this is the last year, but still, it would be nice to know that we have our future set in goal. And there was the first period. No scoring in the first. Shots are 10-6. And once again, no score. Second period. That is a goal for Arizona. Sim on Flaherty. Flaherty's doing well. Offense, I need you to step up. Come on. They only have 1 goal for. We have none. Come on, get those shots on net. We're more than halfway through the third period and still no goals for your LA Kings. 30 shots on net. They currently have a shutout going. Are they going to get it? It looks like they do. Clegg on his former team gets the empty net. And we now, I believe, are down 3-2 in the series. 3 stars of the game, Gustafson, Flaherty, and Sim. That was not your fault, Flaherty. Not at all. Don't blame yourself. That was completely on your offense. So the good news is that he broke the habit of having a bad game, then a good game, then a bad game, then a good game, because he had 2 good games in a row. But once again, his offense didn't help him out. So what can we do here? Rissmiller has 5 goals. Turcotte has 5 assists. Pasta, you gotta step it up, dude. Ehlers has 3. Byfield has 3. Ho has 3 goals and 1 assist. I'm moving Pasta down to the second line. He's been just, once again, very underwhelming. Basically every playoffs in the past 3 years at least. So I don't know what that's about, but he needs to get it together. So here we go. Game number 6. It is an elimination game. Not taking Flaherty out. He has been good the past 2 games. Gonna let him run with it. First period. That is a 1-1 game. Keller with the goal. Bykov with the goal as well. They are doubling us in shots, unfortunately. So pick up the pace here, boys. Flaherty's been solid so far. He let up that goal early in the period, but he's been good since. Come on now. Second period. There it is. Turcotte with the goal on Gustafson. We lead 2-1. Shots are 21-18. It's anybody's game still. Anybody's series for that matter. We are roughly halfway through the third period now. Nothing doing for either team. I guess that's good in our case. But I would really rather not play around with these Arizona Coyotes. Get me another one, please, before the end of the period. But you know what? We didn't need it. We are going to 7 as we win this one 2-1. And another solid performance by Mr. Flaherty, who is indeed the first star of the game, followed by Gustafsson and Turcotte. All right, game number 7 time. Anything can happen, and offense, please help Flaherty. Please, 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 I beg you. First period. Oh, man. Konechny and Waugh, both with power play goals. Early ones as well. Not liking it so far. Second period. Come on, guys. I mean, we got some shots in that period. 23-15 are the shots now. But please find a way to beat their goalie. We beat Arizona last year. We know we can beat them. As a matter of fact, we beat them in the first round. So this is a rematch. I didn't even realize that until now. This is a rematch of last year. And please don't let them get revenge for last year. Third period time. And that is a goal for Nurminen on Flaherty. Offense, where are you? Offense, where are you? Pasta, I'm calling you out. You better get a goal in this period. Pasta, with 5 minutes remaining, can you score? Please, Pasta. Anybody? Dumbo with the empty net? That's it. Yeah, that's unfortunate. 3 stars of the game. Gustafsson, Keller, and Waugh. And with that, that is about it for the LA Kings GM mode. Pasta. I gotta say, you were underwhelming, particularly in the playoffs. And not just this year either. It's been every year for the past, 4 years. I mean, he's not even in our top, come on, 2 points? 2 points, and you want $15 million? No, thank you. If we were to continue past this season, I don't think I would re-sign Pasta. Once again, he's solid during the regular season, but when it counts, he's just not there. And I don't know why. He just hasn't been there for the past 3 or 4 seasons during the playoffs. And he was that first season with us, right? He had 9 points in 10 games in the 2023-24 season. But the past 3 years in particular are what I'm looking at. Only 3 points in 6 games. Only 7 in 14. Only 2 in 7 this year. Ugh. Once again, if we were going with this team any further, I don't think I'd re-sign Pasta. It's just, I'm sure there are better players to invest into at this point than someone who disappears in the playoffs consistently. Not impressed at all. In goal, Flaherty was good. He did have a couple of bad games, but you know what? He showed that, especially towards the end of that series, that he is capable of playing in the NHL, and not only in the NHL, but at a pretty high level as well. He had a 919 save percentage in 7 games, and he had a 906 during the regular season. So he certainly deserves to be the starter for this team going forward. Once again, if we were actually the GM of this team any longer. But his offense just, for whatever reason, in most games couldn't step up for him. I mean, I would venture to guess that part of it is that we didn't really have the deepest defensive core, and none of them are really, point scorers themselves. I mean, Brent Clark, he is pretty good at getting points, I believe. Yeah, he had 32 points this past year, but nothing to, write home about. So, I don't know. I just feel like, guys like Byfield and Pasta should be doing a lot better in the playoffs, particularly Pasta. So, that being said, I think we're going to take a look at the record book, and then we will end things off officially for this franchise. So for the career records, we're just mostly going to focus on the current records. Turcotte leads all current LA Kings with 614 points. Byfield has played the most seasons with 8, or maybe tied with the most seasons, who knows. And then assists, you have Alex Turcotte, of course, with 462. Games played, Turcotte with 654. So Turcotte with 614 points in 654 games. Close to a point per game. Very respectable. Penalty minutes, Byfield with 429. Flaherty with 10 shutouts and 61 wins on his career. And Pasta with 208 goals. Season records, let's see if we have any season records within this GM mode. No, we do not. Not all time, at least. Games played, Ehlers, of course, there's a lot of players who are tied for that record. Shutouts, Charles Flaherty with 6. Penalty minutes, Byfield with 66. Goals, Pasta with 40. Points, Ehlers with 88. Assists, Turcotte with 66. And wins, Flaherty with 31. And once again, those are all current records. Rookie records, you have Curtis Riesner with 11 assists. Dave Turco with 10 goals. And Turco as well with 18 points. All-time, we do not have any all-time records. At least, once again, within the duration of this franchise mode. And we do not have any game records within this franchise mode either. So with that, that is about it for this franchise mode. Thank you all for watching, and remember to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.